Senator the Honorable Robert Lee Hunt, Minister of Public Utilities, Councillor Patricia Victor Wilson, Ms. Elizabeth Ann Hamilton, Deputy Chairman of SwimCall, Mr. Indarjit Singh, Chief Executive Officer, San Fernando City Corporation, Mrs. Natasha Howard Hernandez, Public Health Inspector for San Fernando City Corporation, Directors of SwimCall, other management of SwimCall, staff of the San Fernando City Corporation, other interest groups, including the San Fernando Lions Club. I want to acknowledge as well in our presence Mr. Kiran Singh, President of the San Fernando Area Greater Chamber of Commerce, specially invited guests, media. Welcome to the San Fernando City Corporation Curbside Recycling Initiative launch. At this time, let's stand for the national anthem. Please remain standing. We now have our opening prayer by Ms. Jacqueline Edgar of SwimCall. Let's welcome her, please.
Thank you. If we could all bow our heads, please. Father God, we give you thanks and we give you praise. We praise you for this day because this is truly a day that you have made for us. Father God, and I know that we will rejoice and be glad in it. Father God, for our meeting this morning, oh God, we ask for your divine intervention, God. Father, help us so that whatever we do and say will be edifying to you, oh God. Father, for those who are on the way, I ask that you grant them traveling mercies. This we ask in no other name but the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
You may have your seats at this time. It's truly a pleasure being here with you all this morning for this groundbreaking launch, I want to call it that. And while I'm sitting there, I'm thinking of, we spoke about Christ, and he came to send a message through the mess that we were. And we were, as we say, a hot mess. But there was a beauty under that mess that he saw that needed to be unearthed. And I think with that same breath, that's what we're doing here. Because there's a beauty underlying the mess that we're seeing in Trinidad and Tobago. And I really want to congratulate all the stakeholders for coming together to show Trinidad and Tobago that there is indeed still a beautiful country underneath the mess that we've been seeing daily. So put your hands together for all those who have come together to send a message that there is still beauty in our Twin Island Republic. And again, for all those who keep your papers tight in your hand, we are in the pristine surroundings of the San Fernando Hills, so you cannot argue with God. The breeze will blow. So just accept it. All right? Good. We're moving right along to our welcome address. Welcome at this time to the podium, Councillor Patricia Victor Wilson, Monrepo, Navet. Put your hands together for her, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Senator the Honorable Robert Lee Hunt, Minister of Public Utilities, Ms. Elizabeth Ann Hamilton, Deputy Chairman, SwimCall, Mr. Indarjit Singh, Chief Executive Officer of the San Fernando City Corporation, Mrs. Natasha Howard Hernandez, Public Health Inspector for San Fernando City Corporation, Directors of SWIMCOL, other management of SWIMCOL. It is with pleasure and with pride that I stand before you this evening to bring greetings on behalf of His Worship, the Mayor Alderman Junior Regrello, all the aldermen and councillors of the San Fernando City Corporation. This event is the launch of the San Fernando City Corporation in collaboration with SWIMCOL for the Curbside Recycling Initiative. And in this initiative, you all would have heard the terms, and it is on the banner. Bring it, batch it, bunch it, bring it, batch it, and we will take it. This collaborative effort is one of many efforts being put in place jointly between the local government agencies and the Solid Waste Management Company. The express purpose of this is to provide a healthier and cleaner environment by recycling beverage containers, etc. As you know, we have over 700,000 tons of waste each year. 80% of this can be recycled, but only 5% actually is. And the people from SWIMCOL will tell me if I'm right, but that is what my research revealed. This collaborative initiative between the City Corporation and SWIMCOL will considerably reduce waste. It will preserve the environment because it will not use up the little landfill space that we have remaining. When we preserve our environment, we are also preserving many species of life forms. And our own survival depends on us preserving the other life forms. The success of this project depends on the participation of you, the Burgesses. We need your support to do one simple thing. Empty and clean where possible all places, all beverage containers to be placed in transparent bags and to be placed at the curbside. The City Corporation and SWIMCOL will do the rest, hence the logo. Bring it, batch it, punch it, we'll take it. It will not cost you a penny. In fact, it will not cost you a cent. It will in fact go a long way to give you and your families cleaner and healthier environment. This will result in the benefit of reducing the risk of diseases. Less diseases mean healthier children and a healthier quality of life for all of us. This is what we all want. We can have it by joining this recycling initiative. I urge you to educate your children on recycling. But more than that, the recycling effort will create a permanent national industry. It has begun to create jobs so that others would be able to earn a livelihood. In closing, I wish to thank everyone for giving us the opportunity to briefly speak to this initiative. I am sure that the other speakers here would give you more details in terms of how this initiative is going to be presented. So on behalf of His Worship, the aldermen and councillors of the San Fernando City Corporation, I thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, let us welcome His Worship, the Mayor Alderman Junior Regrello, the Mayor of San Fernando. Thank you very much. And I'm listening to the welcome address, and I work in the media, and very often when there's flooding and there are protests, you hear people say when the debris comes up, blame the government. And I deliberately said it like that because that's what comes across to me with a bit of arrogance. Blame the government. When you see on the highways and the roadways and all the rubbish, and I'm asking myself, did the government put the rubbish there. And there, we know the scripture very well, whether you're reading it, the speck in your eye, before you look to take out the speck, look at the speck in your own eye. In some cases, not even a speck is a boulder. And I think what we have to understand is that what we see around us, the state of our country that we see in terms of the mess, is where many of our hearts are today. Bitterness, anger, resentment. And what we're doing here is to show that we are above that. And we're about people and country first, putting aside all malice, putting aside all issues, and really showing how beautiful our country is. So what we're doing here is really the heart of the people sitting here and those who are involved. So once again, put your hands together for yourselves for being part of this movement by the corporation, SwimCall, and other related agencies. And this time we welcome to give a program overview Mrs. Natasha Howard Hernandez, Public Health Inspector 4 of the San Fernando City Corporation. Let's welcome her to the podium, please.
A pleasant good afternoon to all. The San Fernando City Corporation is pleased to introduce its Curbside Recycling Initiative within the communities of Gulfview and Embarcadero. Our program's theme will be the solution and end pollution. Bunch it, batch it, bring it, and we'll take it. Proper waste disposal is very important to the environment and its protection. And far too long, we have seen how plastic has upsurged in many areas of our communities. Plastic bottles, and other waste clog our waterways and thus result in flooding and, in long term, breeding of mosquitoes and the spreading of vector-borne diseases. Recycling is now, right here, in our city of San Fernando, right at our curbside, making it easy for us to participate in a very important program. And this program will transform our city, and by extension, our country. It will help us deal with waste in a very important way. The opportunity presented by the San Fernando City Corporation in collaboration with SwimCall will help us to demonstrate a change in our attitude towards waste, how we treat it, and how we see it. We can notice and see waste as a resource that instead of being thrown away, can be recycled and reused. The San Fernando City Corporation Curbside Recycling Initiative will focus on waste reduction, separation of recyclables at the household level. We refer to this as source separation. And the collection of these recyclables will all be driven by public education and awareness through our communities and also our schools. We may ask ourselves today, what do we have to benefit from And we say, cleaner communities, garbage-free streets, drains and waterways, and most of all, reduced landfill waste and management costs. So we as citizens of this community of San Fernando, the city, we will start to transform ourselves first. It starts with us. We have to ensure that by participating in this program, we will leave a space for our future generation. Our program objectives: we wish to transform and improve the traditional waste collection and disposal systems by introducing waste separation. We would like to reduce the waste quantities that go to our landfills by extracting our waste by the source. And we want to educate all members of our community and city, and our country by extension, including our youths at the educational facilities, that we have benefits that are derived from waste separation, reduction, and recycling. Our program is a pilot project. It is due to last approximately 6 months. And within the 6-month period, we expect that our 2 communities selected at this time would respond to us very positively because it affects us. We would like that when our trucks come around, both Swimgall and the San Fernando Corporation, that our residents put out their garbage on their curbside within the hours of 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. on a Thursday. And our recyclables will be collected and deposited at the designated landfill at Claxton Bay. So we ask, what am I to do? I'm to bunch it. Separate your used recyclable beverage containers from all your other wastes. Empty and rinse them and recap where possible. Batch it. Place it in a transparent bag. All these items can be placed in one bag. We want you to bring it. Place it at your curbside, and we will take it. A recycling truck will come to your venues and collect the waste for collection on the designated day. So we at the San Fernando Corporation, we are pleased to be a part of this effort, and we look forward to continue this drive throughout the communities of our city. I thank you.
Thank you very much to Mrs. Natasha Howard Hernandez. And I'm listening to her speak. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Hernandez, I'm looking at your facial expression. And I can tell that this has been quite a journey for you. In the context of, the term we use, Trini's harden. No, I'm looking at her face and she's ringing. It's like, please, begging you. That's the tone I got from you. That they will come out and do what they have to do. No, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, right? So, and I'm saying that to say, we all really have to do our part and cooperate with the corporation. Thank you very much for your presentation. I believe we have a performance here for you today. Let's welcome at this time El Drago. Yes, put your hands together. Yeah.
Welcome the Minister and the Mayor of San Fernando. Hey, the lads.
When you have trouble, don't cry. Just remember, God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. When you have heartaches, you wonder why. Just remember, God is standing by. I'll be standing by. That's what he told me to tell you. So there's no need to cry. Thank you, Lord. I'll be standing by. So there's no need to cry. Yeah, 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 yeah. When you have heartaches, you wonder why. Just remember, remember God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. When you have trouble, please don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Oh no, 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 no. Don't worry, don't ever be discouraged. I want you to know you don't have to cry. Sometimes when your burden get down, you doubt me. And I'll be standing by. That's what he told me to tell you. So there's no need to cry. Thank you, Lord. And I'll be standing by. I'm gonna be standing by. So there's no need to cry. Don't cry. No, 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 no. Don't cry. Sometimes you really want to cry when you see people throw their rubbish all over the place. And I'm glad that we have the recycled people here to see about this. What is it? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you.
Put our hands together for El Drago. And he's right, and many times I wanted to cry. Remember a time I was in Chamflair and a guy stuck by traffic light and took his time to rest on a bottle on the pavement, a rum bottle. He took his time, make sure it didn't fall. As if you take your time and do the right thing. Anyhow, let's welcome at this time to the podium from the Deputy Chairman of Swim Call, Miss Elizabeth Ann Hamilton. Let's welcome her this time to the podium, please.
Senator, the Honorable Robert Lehunt, Minister of Public Utilities, His Worship, the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello, Councillor Patricia Victor Wilson, Mr. Indarjit Singh, Chief Executive Officer of the San Fernando City Corporation, Mrs. Natasha Howard Hernandez, Public Health Inspector for San Fernando City Corporation, staff of Swim Call, specially invited guests. It is really with great pleasure that I am here in the city of San Fernando, and I should say my birthplace, in this lovely environment where I remember coming up on San Fernando Hill, actually, at the time running away from school to come and pick mangoes on the hill. And it is still a lovely place today. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2014, SwimCall launched a public awareness campaign aimed at promoting the sustainability of our beloved country. The campaign's theme, Get Into Green, encourages us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to become environmental champions in their homes, workplaces, and the wider community in which they reside. Since its launch in 2014, SwimCall, and by extension, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, has invested in building the equipment capacity of the institution by the introduction of state-of-the-art processing equipment to support the national drive of its recovery and recycling efforts. Globally, world leaders are collectively working towards reducing their respective countries' carbon footprint. And Trinidad and Tobago will be no different, as we have adopted this approach in an effort to sustain our beautiful Twin Island Republic. Get Into Green is the embodiment of renewed passion for SwimCall, as we adopt a fresh approach to improving the environmental outcomes of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, with this in mind, in 2016, SwimCall partnered with the Tunapuna Piarco Regional Corporation to launch a pilot project which saw our first curbside recycling initiative being implemented. As we work towards improving this pioneering initiative, SwimCall, in collaboration with the regional corporation, improved the model for the project, which is now being promoted to all 14 municipal corporations throughout this country. And we also have a presence in Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I am really proud to be called a daughter of the city of San Fernando. And it is from this place that I salute and congratulate His Worship the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Rigrello, and his very supportive team of being the first city in Trinidad and Tobago to launch our curbside recycling project. Can I have a round of applause for the mayor and the city, the burgesses of San Fernando? Ladies and gentlemen, again, join me in congratulating the mayor and his team for leading such an important achievement. Growing up in San Fernando, our recreational activities were mainly visits to beaches, rivers, park, and as I said before, the San Fernando Hill and other scenic open spaces that are predominant in South Trinidad. At the end of each outing, we were mindful to leave nothing behind but our footprints. Because as I remember, my mom would always walk with her bag and tell you, she's behind you, and you have to put every bit of garbage that you took wherever you went in that bag and take it back home with you, or you find the nearest bin. But sadly today, these beautiful spaces can easily be a sore to our eyes, with unsightly litter replacing our beautiful footprints. Ladies and gentlemen, the data speaks a mountain of truth. As a 2010 waste characterization exercise revealed that over 700,000 tons of waste are disposed of in our nation's landfills on an annual basis. Can you imagine 700,000 tons of waste? What is important to note is that over 80% of this quantity comprises items that can easily be recycled and turned into gold through recycling. In fact, turning waste into gold is the theme of SwimCall's strategic plan 2018 to 2022. A few months ago, SwimCall was given the added responsibility of assuming the role of the nation's waste recycling authority. As a part of SwimCall's strategic initiative, therefore, the company is seeking to reduce the amount of waste disposed at our landfills by approximately 50% over the next decade, with post-consumer beverage containers being the first waste stream to be targeted. This brings me to the highlight of this afternoon's groundbreaking event, the launch of the San Fernando Curbside Recycling Initiative. The first phase of this initiative will be rolled out in 2 communities, namely Gulfview and Embarcadero, with subsequent phases scheduled to be rolled out thereafter. Participating communities are being sensitized via community outreach meetings and flyer distribution in an effort to prepare them for the launch of the program in their respective areas. Ladies and gentlemen, the project model will see the collection of items deemed recyclable and by branded open tray trucks as displayed outside. Oh, I thought we had some today. Apparently we don't. But you would see our trucks as we go into this initiative. You will see them as they start to roll out in the city of San Fernando. Very beautifully designed trucks in our logo and our beautiful green colors. The recyclables will be transported to SwimCall's recycling facilities at Namdefco, Port of Spain, where they will be sorted, recorded, and processed and ultimately sent to recyclers both locally and abroad. These recyclables will then be converted into new products for use and, as a result, support the sustainability of our environment. It is important to note that an integral part of being a developed country is demonstrating care and respect for our environment. We can all agree that much more is needed to reduce the pervasive pollution we see worldwide, to improve the management of waste, and to conserve our ecosystems and our biodiversity. Know, however, that Trinidad and Tobago is doing its part in the global process, as evident by today's launch. So, it is against this backdrop that SwimCall encourages all the Burgesses participating in phase 1 of the project to participate fully in the Curbside Recycling Initiative. As we say, be the solution and end pollution. Bunch it, batch it, and bring it. We'll take it. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to get into green with us by becoming stewards. Stewards who are tasked with protecting and preserving our national environment for our children and for future generations who are destined to inherit our legacy. And I always recall an old Indian proverb that says, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we actually borrow it from our children. And you know, when you borrow something from somebody, you take a little extra care of it. So, we believe that through your active participation in this initiative, we will be well on our way to achieving yet another first, making the city of San Fernando the first green city in Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, SwimCall thanks you.
Let's put our hands together again for the Deputy Chairman of SwimCall. And I really want to congratulate the mayor and the corporation again. And I remember when we had our first interview, I mentioned to him that San Fernando must return to a place of bliss, not blisters, because that's what we're known for, a place of bliss. And he has been very hands-on. We had a few walkabouts, and and I want to applaud you for your efforts, Mayor, and your entire team. So put your hands together for him and the entire staff and the team at the San Fernando City Corporation. We have another performance for you at this time. Yes, they are ready. The Embarcadero Travelers. They didn't have to travel far. Don't worry, right there. Embarcadero, right there. So let's welcome, put your hands together for them, the Embarcadero Travelers. All right. Get them room, get them room. Get them room. Secure no need. Okay. It's all good, it's all good. Put your hands together for them. And back of their travelers. At this time, indeed, my honor to welcome to the podium. Let us stand as we welcome to give our feature address this afternoon, Senator the Honorable Robert Lee Hunt, Minister of Public Utilities. Let's put our hands together, please, and welcome him to the podium.
Oh, okay. I don't need this. Thank you very much. His Worship, the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello, Mayor of San Fernando, Councillor Patricia Victor Wilson, Miss Elizabeth Ann Hamilton, Deputy Chairman of SwimCall, and I must say a fantastic address this morning. I don't know what more I could say after that address. Mr. Singh, Chief Executive Officer, San Fernando City Corporation, and congratulations, sir, on your promotion. The last time I was with the City Corporation, I don't think you were the CEO at that time. Ms. Howard Hernandez, Public Health Inspector for San Fernando City Corporation, other directors of SwimCall, other members of the management of SwimCall, other members of the management of the Ministry of Public Utilities, members of the Lions Group, any youngsters, young people in our midst, a special welcome to you, ladies and gentlemen, and other executive members I'm seeing from the San Fernando West constituency of the People's National Movement. A hearty good afternoon. A hearty good afternoon. As always, it is indeed a pleasure to be back home, back in South San Fernando and its environs. And I'm not trying to steal any thunder from our deputy chairman, but the reality for those who know me, I grew up in Faizabad and in San Fernando. I lived a number of years in San Fernando, and a lot of my formative years having gone to school at Presentation College, San Fernando, the best school in the Caribbean. I traversed the streets of San Fernando on a number of occasions, and I did a number of things, sometimes a little naughty, sometimes not as naughty, on the same San Fernando hill. And so, as such, this event has special, I don't know why everyone is laughing. I don't know what does that mean. I'm just admitting, come on, at 12 and 13 years old, naughtiness is a matter of perception. And so this event has special significance for me, not just because we are launching a critical program that will greatly benefit the residents of this area, but because we are doing it in the city of San Fernando, which, by the way, as was mentioned, and who stole my thunder, I must say that, or she wasn't supposed to say that. I was supposed to say that, but let's reel it back a little bit. Is the first city in Trinidad and Tobago to adopt the Curbside recycling program. So please. You know, sometimes things are so nice you want to do it twice or thrice, as the case may be. What this shows is that your mayor and city councils are willing and ready to take the long-term view of things by planning and implementing programs that will impact the quality of life of the residents just not now, but way into the future. Your government, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, has also chosen to adopt that long-term view, particularly as it relates to the protection of the environment. In fact, Theme 5 of our 2030 National Development Strategy places the environment at the center of our socio and economic development. Trinidad and Tobago, rich in biological resources, are of great importance to all sectors of Trinidad and Tobago and play a critical role in the socio-economic development of this country. From the food we eat, the air we breathe, all aspects of our daily lives are supported by the ecosystem around us. And these resources are the basis on which all other sectors depend. Our Vision 2030 National Development Strategy also speaks to the creation of a comprehensive waste management, pollution management system. As citizens, I am sure you will all witness some of the devastating effects on our environment caused by the improper disposal of waste. Among some of these negative consequences are floods as a result of clogged waterways. Are we experiencing any of that in South? No? Yes? Well, I can assure you in other parts of the country, it is something that is very, 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 very prevalent. Vector-borne diseases and other health-related impacts, not to mention the damage that is done to our rivers and marine ecosystems. But improper waste disposal and pollution of all kinds have ramifications that extend beyond the community and the national scale. And Trinidad and Tobago, as a responsible member of the international community, must uphold its international commitments to manage toxic chemicals, ozone-depleting gases, and waste in a manner that seeks to protect human health and the environment. At the ministry level, we at the MPU, in collaboration with SWIMCAL, has implemented a five-point strategy geared towards shifting our culture away from mismanagement of waste to one of reuse and recycle. And this five-point strategy that we have put in place to deal with recycling looks at it from different perspectives. And we make the point that as we deal with it, we have to deal with all aspects of it simultaneously. So when you see one program is implemented, it's not that we are not dealing with the others, but you have to deal with them all at once for it to be successful. And basically those five-point programs include: one, you heard that we have made SWIMCAL the agency responsible for recycling, and as such, we have been working on institutional strengthening of that institution. So that is a pillar under which we are placing the whole recycling activities under. We have to strengthen the institution of SWIMCAL so that it would be better to be able to monitor and implement the recycling efforts. The second, we have to make recycling easy. We recognize that people in Trinidad, that we have to make it easily accessible so that people will want to do it. And therefore, as I will elaborate later, this program and a number of other programs that we are doing fall under that category. We recognize also that we need to have a very strong public awareness campaign, because what we are doing is trying to change a culture, trying to change a lifestyle. And therefore, we have to have a strong public awareness campaign around recycling that is going to be geared specifically, in the first instance, at a lot of the young kids, but also a lot of the elders, because a lot of people, as we are hearing, a lot of older ones, because we have gone through a certain generation, all right? Gone are the days when your parents there was a generation where your parents walked around with their bags and instilled that in you. There's been a new generation where that has been totally eliminated. And as much as now we're trying to create a new culture with the new generation, we have to recognize and try to touch that other generation. We have to do this, we have to put in place a legislative agenda. And therefore, again, as much as we would like to encourage people to do this voluntarily, and it is something that we hope that a number of people will adopt. We recognize that we have to put legislation in place. And therefore, working with the EMA, we are looking to put in place waste rules. We are looking to put in place a Beverage Container Act that will then, and we are looking to implement some of the existing laws that we have that deal with waste in a more stringent manner. So we have to put a legislative agenda to make sure that the program of recycling is also buttressed by that, with that support. Finally, we have to put incentives in place that will result in building a recycling industry. It is all well and good for us to collect all of these items and move them off the street, which is not, it's not a small achievement. Because if we could get them all in one place, we are making a massive improvement in a number of areas. But the idea is not simply to take all of them, get them off the street, and put them in the dump. As you heard, the whole idea then is when we get them into the dump, encouraging the private sector, because government cannot do it alone, the private sector to also get involved and help to develop a recycling industry, which will help us to increase our foreign exchange and also will help us increase unemployment and also help us to reduce the amount of waste that is in the dumps. So that is a 5-prong attack. And each one of those things that we are doing is, we have to work on all of them simultaneously. And we are doing that as we speak. So as I said, programs like this one, of course, plays a major role in that strategy by embodying 2 of those points. One, it's making reuse and recycling easy by providing the necessary systems and infrastructure that will facilitate the process. And 2, it raises public awareness about the importance and reusing and recycling. In so doing, this program and the others that we have implemented through Swim Call, like the public sector recycling program and the waste reduction recycling program, will help us to get involved in the creation of a more sustainable future for Trinidad and Tobago. And the public sector recycling program, again, is a program where we are doing similar to what is happening, and we are encouraging people, public sector institutions at their workplace, and people at their workplace to get involved in the whole recycling efforts. So that way, again, we are touching the adults at their workplace. And we are also have a waste reduction recycling program, which is more geared towards the private sector. And we are working with private sector institutions. The Central Bank was one of them that just started. And we are working with a number of other private sector institutions, launching programs like this, whereby they themselves will also get involved in actively recycling, and we will then participate and assist with the collecting of these items. So again, this is one program, but there are a number of things that are happening simultaneously. I should mention that although San Fernando is the first city to adopt this program, it is already being carried out by the Couva Regional Corporation and the Tunapuna Regional Corporation. And we intend to roll it out throughout the country, thus ensuring that everyone can contribute to this initiative. And I, without hesitation, use the word everyone, because it means really for this to be successful, it is not just about me, it's not just about you, it's about all the school children, it's about all the senior citizens, it's about all the fishermen, it's about all the government ministers. It's a holistic approach if we have to make this successful. We must have all hands on deck and on the wheel when it comes to this initiative like this one, which can help to change our future. I think it was Einstein who said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That that analogy also holds for individual communities, corporations, and the country. And I ask you, what are you willing to do to change, to create a better future? Now, change is something as you embark on change, which is what you all are all looking to do, to be change agents, being part of this. Change is not something that happens easily. Recognize that. So recognize that you are going into something that is almost like a little war, because people do not like to change. A lot of people has even told me, well, boy, why are you wasting your time getting involved in this? You know, people are just, this is how Trinidadians are. And I don't accept that. I have faith in our country and I have faith in our individuals. But just an idea, I mean, I came across, the Prince of Machiavelli. He used a very important analogy or important quote when he talked about change. And he said it must be considered that there's nothing more difficult to carry out, no more difficult, no more doubtful of success, or more dangerous to handle than to initiate a new order of things, which is really change. For the reformer has enemies in all those who profit by the old order, and only lukewarm defense in all those who will profit by the new one. Very significant for you to understand what we are embarking upon. And therefore, I am challenging you, for all of our leaders of this change, to stand up and be heard. And if you are in support of it, don't have the lukewarm response as what is normally the case. I'm also challenging you to stand up. There's a silent majority. A silent majority, not a silent minority. There's a lot of people in this country who will like to see things happen, but for some reason they believe that their voice will not make a difference. And therefore, we allowed a loudmouth minority to speak out on a number of things. So this is something that I feel you think is good. I think by virtue of you being here, you support it 100%. This is something that happens around the world. This is something that is good for our country. This is something that is good for our environment. Let's all work together and be the change and live the change that we want to see out there. And use our voice, use our God-given talents to make that change in Trinidad and Tobago that we want to see. I thank you. I congratulate the mayor for this fantastic initiative. I must say that Mr. Morello has really shown what is about action-oriented leadership and leading from the front is all about. I remember when I mentioned this to him, he said, count me in. And that was it. Count me in. And within the spare of 2 to 3 weeks, he was definitely in. So that is what a leader is all about, who could see something, grasp it with full hands, and make sure that it happens. So again, congratulations, sir. Congratulations to you. Yes, and I agree with you. A round of applause is indeed needed. Congratulations to you and members of your council for also, because, sometimes part of leading is also following, and part of following is also leading. So, the fact that, and at the end of the day, it's about a team, and a team is what is achieving. So a team has its leader, and his leader gets all of the praise sometimes, but we all know that it is about a team. And therefore, I take the opportunity to also congratulate the team called the San Fernando City Corporation for the work that they have also been doing in also making this a reality. And again, I look out and I see groups like the Lions, and we are looking to you and groups like yourself to help in that change. Civil-minded organizations like yourself who understand about service. Service to humanity is the best work of life. I congratulate you on your efforts and what you have done in the past. And I know here by being present that you will be part of this revolution that we are trying to achieve, and encourage all of San Fernando to get involved. I look forward to the expansion of this program, where we will not only be piloting in 2 areas, but we will be taking it throughout the length and breadth of the city and San Fernando, touching all the businesses and making it a tremendous success. Again, thank you and congratulations. Have a lovely evening.
Let's put our hands together again once again for Senator Robert Lee Hunt, Minister of Public Utilities. And everything that you said, Minister, hinged on relationships and building relationships. As a matter of fact, the first and the last point of the 5-point strategy you mentioned, strengthening the institution of swim call, building a relationship, and the last one, incentives in place for the people. So everything hinged on relationship. If we take that hinge off, the door falls off. And then anything can pass in and out. So again, thank you very much. Put your hands together again for the minister as we continue to build relationships through the Curbside Recycling Initiative launch. So at this time, we pause for a very worthy cause. I'd like to invite the head table. We're going to have a simulation of the use of the various disposable bins, etc., downstairs. So we're going to... Oh, at the end. Oh, my apologies, my humblest apologies. So you all can rest. No need to get up. Relax. Okay, it's at the end. Let's move right along to the trash art prize distribution. A lot has been happening behind the scenes in the build-up to this launch, and one of them would be the trash art prize distribution, which actually is on display downstairs, so you can see it, when you go down. So let's get the names, and let's... I believe some of the children are here today. All right. Okay, great. So let's let's invite the minister at this time to assist us with the distribution. So as mentioned, this is just one of the many initiatives as part of the entire launch. All right, welcome at this time to receive her prize from the San Fernando Girls Government Primary School, Delise Rabathali. Let's welcome her at this time, please. We continue right away. We want to welcome at this time from the Grant Memorial Presbyterian School, Ariel Durham. I hope I pronounced that properly. If I didn't, I do apologize. And also again from the Grant Memorial Presbyterian School, Jemiah Fahy. Let's welcome her as she receives her prize. All right, once again from the San Fernando Girls Government Primary School, Solane Best. Let's welcome her this time. Solane? Okay, Solane is not here. All right, we welcome at this time from the TML, Suvan Subans. Suvan Subans. Also from TML, Miriam Nanan. Let's welcome her, please. Miriam Nanan. Let's have the bow, Minister. Bow. Right, that's fine. We welcome at this time from St. Gabriel's RC School, Candy LeBlanc. Let's welcome Candy LeBlanc. Is Candy here? No? Okay, we move right along. From the Renaissance Preparatory School for Boys and Girls, Ashlyn Bridgelow. All right. So thank you very much, Minister. You may have your seat. Let's welcome at this time to continue. Put your hands together. To continue the distribution, we welcome at this time our mayor. No. Yes. Let's welcome Mayor Junior Regrello. We continue from Anstey Girls, Aishana Ezra Datadine. I pronounced that properly, did I? Thank you very much, Mommy. I don't want to get in any trouble, right? All right, now this is the Mayor's Special Prize, and it goes to Chris Mohammed from TML. Correct? Not yet? Okay. All right. We move right along to final awardee, Delia Bagaloo. Is Delia here? All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor. Let's put our hands together for all the winners, and those, of course, who are not here, we congratulate them as well. So I guess I should have allowed the mayor to remain standing. So this time, we welcome, with his remarks, the Mayor of San Fernando, His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello. Put your hands together for him, please.
The voices of San Fernando, the high school, St. Joseph's Convent, Naprima Boys, Naprima Girls, but the steel pan from Naprima Boys performing, Presentation College as well, so, performing our San Fernando song. Permit me at this point to welcome our very distinguished Minister of Public Utilities, Senator Honorable Robert LeHunt, and a born-again San Fernandian, if I may say so, right, who went to Presentation College, and I'm sorry that some of the Naprima boys not here, but I certainly would have challenged him. The Deputy Chairman of Swimming Club, Miss Elizabeth Ann Hamilton, our very hard-working Public Health Inspector and Officer in Charge, Miss Hernandez, or the Councillor for the area, Miss Wilson, members of the Swimming Club Board and Directors, and our chairman of the Greater San Fernando, Mr. Singh, members of the Lions Club, who the minister outlined a while ago have a very critical role to play here, and of course the Seroptimists, who are also with us, and who also started an initiative like this very similar some time ago, and who have a critical role to play. Major stakeholders. Let us also give a round of applause to the Mbakadi travelers who danced a while ago there. They danced a song called Rudvin. You all know that song? I felt like Rudvin on the head table as they went along. But the minister, immediately I informed him that Mbakadi travelers were invited to go to LA. And they're due to leave, I think, either Monday or Tuesday, and having great difficulty in securing their passports. And within 2 minutes, the minister was making calls and using his phone, and we'll solve that problem. And this is why, we must say these things, because this is one minister that Crow will not have to sing about. And let me tell you why. We won the promenade one day. We were doing a contract on the promenade, and we had to remove, I think it was 2 lamp poles. And I called the minister. Actually, I messaged him. Within 2 minutes, he called back. He said, what's happening? I said, well, we have to get this project started on Saturday morning. This is Friday evening. I just was informed by the contractors that there are 2 poles in the way. Within 5 minutes, I got a call from Tiantec. Is this Mayor Regrello? Yes. Well, we got instructions that we have to assist you with the removal of a pole. And then you would understand why the Prime Minister went to Ghana, found the minister, and bring him back to Trinidad. Right? This is what we need. Right? And it goes on. And then again, it doesn't end there. He called me about a month ago. Late one evening, I know what he was doing in his office, 10:30. He said, I'm here with my secretary and staff, and we're planning this curbside thing. I said, what? This sounding interesting. So he outlined what it was. Now he said, yes. And within 2 or 3 days, the team arrived to meet with us at City Hall to plan this exercise. And while we were planning the exercise, I was downstairs calling up and saying, listen, we have to get this going. We called the schools because we had to get a team. What would be the team? What are we going to sell this as? So while they were upstairs putting the facts together, our public health department and members of the clinical staff who were here with us, call these schools. Listen, schools, we have looking for a logo. There will be an exam, school closing next week. I said, so we have 48 hours. We're looking for a logo. Because we have two speed in San Fernando. One is fast and the other one is faster. I said, we have things statutory meeting and you have to announce something. Within 2 days, those brilliant schools came up with this team. Now, Prima boys give us, be the solution, right, to pollution. President Bill and Gill say, batch it, bring it, we'll take it. Say, good. Combine both together, and of course we awarded them. And that's the collaboration talking about, where young people, creative minds, artistic minds can say, let's do something. It's not all about us, it's about the next generation. And they are part of this exercise. And while that was going on, we must commend the San Fernando West Youth League. And for those of you who do not know, the minister was the former chairman of San Fernando West constituency at one time. So he didn't go presentation in college, he did more in San Fernando. So we call it San Fernando West Youth League went out on an exercise with turning trash into art. And on their own, it's not a political thing. They just came up with this idea and they went to all the primary schools. And then they came to City Hall with their prizes. We were amazed by the talent of those young children you saw here a while ago. If you see what they did with trash. Replica of City Hall, replica of the fire station. And the young lady from, I think it's government school, she got her parents to take her to the fire station on Monrepo roundabout. Pencil and pad and went through the hall and documented everything and made it out of cardboard and what we will call trash. Remarkable and outstanding work. There was a young man who got the mayor's prize, and I will tell you it had nothing to do with me. The prize was the pan man on Sparrow Street corner there. That was the first prize. I didn't select, but it was amazing here. He's here now. Come and tell him how you made that. You do it yourself. Come. Tell what they did. Come.
Hi, my name is Suvan Subans. I'm 10 years old and attend TML Primary School. My art piece was the steel pan man, and I chose this piece because I live near to it. The first thing I did was gather materials that were not only trash but were recyclable. Then I made a frame using bamboo skewers. After I made the frame, I used foil and wrapped it around the skewers and scrunched it together until I got the shape I wanted. After the foil, I put layers of newspapers, paper towel, and glue, and it took 10 days to dry. After those 10 days, I used aluminum cans for his clothing and his hair. My favorite part is the steel pan itself. I used tools from my dinosaur excavation kit at the bottom of a Coca-Cola can and used those tools to make the sinks in it. After I punched the sinks in it, the other materials I used were plastic plates and cardboard boxes for the stand, garbage bags for the grass, and cereal boxes and forks for the fences.
Isn't that amazing? And you'll see why he got the mayor's prize. Had nothing to do with the pan. It was just brilliant. And the other children, some of them who are here now, were able to put that creativity into place. So I'm saying, Peter Minshall and all those designers outside there, eat your heart out. There's a next generation of mass designers coming up. That's what it's about. And also talking about foreign exchange. Why do we have to import things when we could take the same trash and make it work for us? So next year, the Minister, Carnival next year will be trash on the streets. All over the road. So I want to thank the minister. I mean, it has been outlined by everybody here. Our public health inspector give you a complete overview. Both the minister and the deputy chair outlined to you the objectives, the rollout points, and what we have to do that will underpin this exercise. We are happy to work for them and to make this exercise a success. I'm very happy again to see the two major agencies at the Alliance have done very, very good work in the communities, and of course, Optimus, because you all will have to drive this and work in partnership with us to make this a success. We are here in probably one of the most beautiful places in Trinidad and Tobago on the San Fernando Hill. Some thought went into this. It wasn't just a case of going to City Hall and having this, but let's come here and let's sit above, on top of the hill, where we can look over this city that we are responsible for and to making it clean. We have a major responsibility to leave here better than how we met it. And that's our initiative. I want to thank the minister and his team for the tremendous amount of work done in the past, for coming here and making it. As a matter of fact, this function was supposed to be this morning. Of course, minister called Tuesday. It was Tuesday evening. So I supposed to do the feature address. I said, well, why not? But I have FNGP meeting. I said, don't worry, we'll put the meeting in the evening. That's not a problem. And we changed the meeting in the evening just to accommodate him, and he is here, and I'm sure he's very busy, but he made the effort to be here with us in San Fernando, his second home, and to make his contribution and be part of this exercise. So I want to thank you all as well for coming here this evening and sharing this exercise with us, and let us make this work for us and to redound to the people of the city of San Fernando. I thank you.
Put your hands together again for the Mayor of San Fernando, Mr. Junior Regrello. And again, congratulations to all the children who participated in the Trash Art Prize distribution. So now, we're almost to the end of our program. And again, thank you once again to our esteemed head table, specially invited guests, the media. We now make our way downstairs, the head table first, to the simulation of the use of the various bins, the disposable bins. And then, of course, we have the various trash art, yes, I like it, trash art, on display downstairs as well. And, of course, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm Sheldon Yearwood, and God bless you.